Today, I bring you my physical sketchbooks that I'm going to share while we're waiting for some more people to hop in. So I got this little one, and notably, it's a lined sketchbook, and I feel like that's important to note because for some reason, I do my best sketches in lined notebooks. I don't know what it is, something about the paper, I guess, but like that is smooth, that is crisp. Like, I really like that one. Granted, a marker bleeds right through, but I don't know, I like drawing in sketchbooks, in notebooks that are lined. Yeah, like this one's smooth too. And that one, so, as I've made it well known, I love fountain pens. This one was drawn with a fountain pen. Yeah, and even with like just pencil, because I got some pencil here, and it's nice and smooth, nice and crisp, and it surprisingly didn't smear onto the other page, which that's a minor miracle with pencils. And like this one I actually scanned up into my tablet and I colored a while ago. I never posted it anywhere, but like that's actually what I've been doing with the moth guy that we're going to be working on again here. It's just something I draw on paper, took a picture, scanned it up. But I feel like it's important to note that you can draw on lined paper and it still looks good. But aside from that, I've also got this ancient sketchbook, and yeah, he's a little macabre. But this ancient, whoa, I'm gonna just drop it real quick. But this sketchbook has something that I highly recommend everybody do, and I'm talking to one person here, but for anyone who's rewatching this stream, hi. This is something I highly recommend you do when you're working with physical art, so like on paper or canvas or whatever, and that's to make a swatch page with whatever you're using. So I have alcohol markers and they blend real nice, but what I did is I did this whole page with just like swatched them out, labeled which ones were which, just so I know for the future what they look like on the paper without having to like start coloring it and going, oh no, that color looks terrible. It didn't look like this on the other sheet. What the hell? So definitely something you should do. You can do it with colored pencils. You should. If you're coloring with marker or crayons or colored pencils, always do a swatch page. Definitely worth it. Yeah. And I've found that it takes the pressure off the very first page of a sketchbook, because like, you never know what to do with the first page. Maybe, like I've seen some people where they do like the date of when they started the sketchbook and their name, or they try to draw something really cool for the first page as like an intro for the sketchbook, but I've also, like, I've had this problem myself where it's like, what do I do with the first page? I want it to look good, it's the first page. And then like sometimes I don't end up using the sketchbook for months after I get it because like, I gotta have something good for the first page. But I found that just doing a swatch page takes all the pressure off, and it's also just good to do in general. And then I have no trouble with the rest of the sketchbook because the first page is done. But that's just something I found helps. I mean, you don't have to do that. And like, even the cover of the sketchbook, like this sketchbook specifically, I put stickers on it. For the longest time, never did that. It would just be the sketchbook. But I finally started doing this, decorating them. I have a different sketchbook where I actually put like the date I started sketchbook on. But stickers are such a problem for me because I have so many stickers and I don't want to stick them on anything because like it's there and it's there forever and I can never change it. But I've been working on just putting stickers on things and going, that's it, it's there, I used it, I'm happy, I stuck it to something. I have a notebook that is just the whole front page is just covered in stickers. And I did that as a way to force myself to just be like, it's okay to use stickers. You don't have to be neurotic about it. But just in this sketchbook, I've got a lot of really old character designs that I haven't used in years. And anyone who knows me from back when I used to draw Spamton will recognize the characters I've got here, but like, there's stuff in here. I haven't drawn them in so long. And I look back and it's like, wow, holy smokes. I'm just trying to find a good example. That's why I'm flipping through here, but... Let's see. These are nice thick sheets, too. This is a really nice sketchbook. Of course, I stickered over the brand, but it's just like XL mixed media sketchbook. I got it from Walmart, so it's not expensive. But the pages are nice and thick. They hold marker really well, which is good. Unfortunately, it seems like I've just done pencil sketches in this and not marker, which really... Oh, here we go. But this was like a D&D character I didn't play, but somebody made, so I drew it. And like, that's marker. And that marker held really well. And the nice part is that, well, I mean, it did bleed through, but it didn't bleed through nearly as bad as I thought it was going to. Yeah. And then, for a different campaign, I was, I don't remember if I was in it or if I was running it. I think I ran it, but I drew one of the player's characters as well, Cybane. I just think she's neat. She was an artificer. She was really cool. Oh, I remember these two! Okay, I had a couple that I was, like, they were part of the D&D campaign, and I drew their characters because they were both different cat-type characters. I love how these came out still. Like, look at them! They just make me so happy. One of them was a Weecher, so it was like a smaller, like, cat, raccoon, tanuki type thing. And then the other was a tabaxi, so the tabaxi was a lot taller. Yeah. Oh my goodness, it's been ages since oh, and here's some fun pen drawings. I haven't drawn these characters in I don't know how long, but I like how they came out, because they're just, oh, my finger's like half covering one, but they're just like weird little guys. They're just neat. I should draw them again. Oh, this was back when I was... Okay, so for anyone who knows me from some of my more recent projects, I was doing one that has all kinds of, like, habits off of Everyman Hybrid. Like, Everyman Hybrid is a Slenderverse series on YouTube. Go watch it, it's incredible. But one of the characters in it was Habit, and I just started doing a whole big story based off of him because... why not, I guess? But then I included camera heads, and this is a sketch from, like, back when I was, like, just pondering the idea of camera heads. Oh, it's not showing up well on camera here, but like like with that one I was just with the pencil and just going with it. I wasn't really thinking too hard about any particular thing. But yeah, camera heads, they're so neat to me. Oh my goodness, there's so many old ancient things in here. Oh, I remember these. I'm gonna turn the music down just a touch on my end because it's a little loud. But, oh my goodness. I drew a bunch of little computers with faces. I love them. Like, I love old computers. Something about them just, like, makes my brain rotate. Like, oh my god, and I drew little faces on them. Yeah, I definitely need to work on that project some more. I'm noticing, like, nobody's hopping in here. Is everybody busy? Like, what the hell happened? Or maybe everyone is in the chat and they're just quiet and it's not showing up on my end. That could be. Let's see, what else have I got in this wondrous sketchbook of mine? Oh, wow, this is an old one? Okay. So, yeah. Ages ago, I got into Welcome Home, so I made I made an OC for Welcome Home. I didn't make an OC for Welcome Home. I repurposed an old OC for it. And I know I showed her before. So here's what she looked like when I was drawing her for Welcome Home. She's the rainbowy one, obviously. Because I did not make Wally. That's not mine. I didn't make Wally. But that character, this is what her original design was. So definitely a lot more patterns on it. Definitely a lot more going on. But she didn't start as a Welcome Home OC. That's what the original was. So I just tweaked it a little and then bingo boingo. And yes, I love her, like, head empty stare. It gives me so much joy. Oh shoot, what else have I got in here? Oh, when I watched Clone High, I wanted to see if I could do the art style, and I think I nailed it. Like, I'm pretty proud of these. I think I nailed the Clone High art style. And then I proceeded to never draw it again. Like, literally 1 page. That was it. And that is the end of this sketchbook. I got a bunch of paper that I didn't use, but that's the end of the sketches I feel like sharing from it. Toss that aside, roll my sleeves up, get my pen. I'm getting a little warm because I have a hoodie on. It's summer and I'm wearing a hoodie. What kind of psycho am I? Hello! I don't know if you were here for the sharing of the sketchbook, but I was just sharing some old art while waiting for people to hop in. Alright, but I'm gonna get into it now. So, we were coloring this guy and taking our sweet time. Yeah, normally it doesn't take me this long to color. But we've been chilling on stream, so it's aight. I accidentally rotated the canvas, that's not what I wanted to do. Okay, where was I? I was coloring in the dark spots, which means I should probably switch over to the dark color. Make sure I'm on the right pen, and bingo boingo! I gotta figure out how to use, like, copyright music in streams, because I've been listening to Oingo Boingo recently, and it just, like, it makes me so happy. I very much enjoy the oingen and the boingen. I don't know. It's just definitely one of my favorite bands for some reason. But I've been listening to a lot of it recently, and I would love to play that on stream, but I don't want to risk getting the channel taken down. Oh, excuse me. So I'm gonna not do that. At least not yet. Like I said, I've seen all these bigger streamers do it, and it's like, I want to do that. How'd you do it? Yeah. I mean, honestly, like, my hypothesis is still that they're just, like, splitting the audio so that the Twitch VOD is only getting a certain audio parts recorded, and then the rest of it is just whatever, but I don't know how to... Well, I do know how to do that, but I don't know if it'll work, is the problem. Because right now, I've got audio from my internet coming in. That's the chill music. And then, of course, I've got the microphone here. But, so I know how to split the audio, I just don't... I know how to split the audio, I know how to split it into Twitch, I'm just not sure if it'll work, is the thing. At least with my method. Because, like I said, again, I don't want to lose this channel. It's, like, way too early for me to be doing, like, questionable stuff. So, for now, we're just getting the free-to-use, chill beats to study / sleep to that Twitch says I can use. Oh my goodness. So, I tried to think of things to talk about on stream today, because I figured maybe I could yap about things. I know last time I did an art stream, it was a lot of, like, you can do things, don't not do the thing, everyone can draw, quote Ratatouille. But, I wanted to come up with stuff to talk about today, and I completely forgot to. I was just, like, sitting scrolling on my phone. Which, that's not the most productive use of my time. But sometimes you just gotta scroll on your phone, realize you need to start a stream in like 5 minutes, and then you start the stream. You don't always have to be extremely productive. Come on. Oh, never mind then. I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, I could. I definitely could talk about that. I could also yap about productivity and go, hey, being not productive is not a sin. You can sit there and just be sometimes. Need to grab this flesh. Need to grab the flesh. Because sometimes characters have skin. What am I talking about? Okay, I'm a little spacey today. I did take my meds, but like, the best analogy I've ever seen for ADHD meds is that it's turning the Roomba on, but it's not stopping the Roomba from getting stuck under the couch. So like, yes, it makes the brain turn on, function, but it don't control whether the brain function on the right topic. And honestly, I think that was a very delightful analogy for it. But I could yap about this character, so I think I shall do that, since that has been mentioned as something for me to do. Yeah, my mouth is dry again. Like, I'm drinking water, and the mouth dry. Why? I don't know. Maybe it's diabetes. Hope it's not. That would be bad. I should not be getting diabetes at the ripe old age of 22. And I kind of want to change this song because I'm not really vibing with it. Oh, come on. Google enhance. Google on enhance. Okay, I need to get a different song going here because, like, this ain't it. Music. Head bop beats. Okay. Good enough. I love that that was the end of the song. Okay. Yeah. Like I said, I was listening to Oingo Boingo, so, like, most of the music I listen to is a lot more, like, upbeat, go-get-'em music. So having chill music on, it's not really my thing. I'll listen to it, but it's not, like, what I typically put on while I'm doing art. So it is good that they've got, like, something that's a little higher energy, I guess. I mean, still not quite my range, but I'll take what I can get. So, come on. Get that one little pixel. There we go. Sometimes it's just one itty bitty pixel that won't color, and it's like, just color. I'm clicking directly on it. Why won't you color? I don't know why my mouth's dry. Anyway, yapping about this project. Oh geez, where do I even start? Like, a while ago, I tried to timeline out the story of this, what this guy is kind of from. Because, once again, just as a reminder, this guy I'm drawing is specifically a fusion between two characters from this larger project. He's not, like, part of the project, but the characters that I originally ripped him from are. Anyway, I was trying to timeline out just like, this is when this happened, but oh no, this happened at this point. And I'm gonna be, like, perfectly honest here. I drew 4 timelines, and they still don't make sense unless I like go back and explain them bit by bit. And that doesn't help either. Window. There's a window I can open here. It's not sub view, that's what I want. So I discovered this on my tablet, actually. What you can do is you can open a sub view of your art, like so, and you can just bingo boingo this over here. So instead of doing what I was doing before with having just this off to the side like that, I can just have it in a smaller window like that. And I wish I'd known that ages ago, but I know now. And I'm gonna share that now. By the way, if you're able to and you do art, you should get Clip Studio Paint, because this is an amazing program. It's better than Photoshop in literally every conceivable way. And it's not like fully subscription based. You can do like the one-time payment and you've got the program forever. Which, God, I hate subscription based programs. Like, it makes me so mad that, oh, I paid for this program, but now I have to keep paying for it, or if I don't, I can't use it anymore. Or even better, I've been paying for it, but I forgot my login, so now I can't use it. Or I paid for it, but they've discontinued the service, so I can't use it. Like, subscription-based stuff enrages me. Why pay for the thing once when you can pay for it hundreds of times? And you still don't get ownership of it. So, physical media, better in every single conceivable way. You get to keep it forever. It's yours. No one can stop you from having the thing. In other news, I have a bone to pick with Adobe, but hey, that's nothing new. So, like I was, yes, exactly, physical media is the best. And I personally think we all need to go back to it. I think blockbusters need to come back. I think that, you should be able to buy, like, one-time payment things instead of having to keep paying for the same thing ad infinitum. So that's why I like Clip, because you buy it once and you just don't. There is a subscription version of it, but like, it's not the only option, which is incredible. Yeah, I know I didn't go to Blockbuster as much as I would like to think I went to Blockbuster, because, well, I was a kid, and I went, oh, you're going out somewhere? Well, I won't go out. I'm doing a thing. But I know better now. I know now that, dear God, Blockbuster was good. It was so much better. And you know what? You know what's really funny? One Blockbuster store had more movies than the entire Netflix catalog, depending on where you live. Like, thousands and thousands of movies. And then Netflix, you'll go to watch something, and it'll have been taken off, like, the day before you went to go watch it. For no reason, really. Well, for the reason so that they could lock it to, like, Brazil. And it's like, why is this locked in Brazil? This movie was made in Hollywood. So it shouldn't be region locked just to Brazil? Like, whoever invented region locking, I want to find them, and I want to hit them many times, because it is the worst thing to happen to media in general. Like, granted, if it was like, well, it used to be a physical limitation, because like TVs from Japan, they don't run or at the same frame rate as TVs over here. They don't work the same. So a physical limitation for region locking in that sense, okay, whatever. Like Pokemon, some of the games, they run different if you're playing the Japanese version versus the English release version. But to region lock, like, things present day is ridiculous. Like, there's no good reason for it at all. Yeah, like, Netflix, Blockbuster did kind of drop the ball on that one. But to be fair, they were kind of operating under the same principle that TV, well, not that TV, but that radio operated with TV. Because when radio was first coming out, well, not when radio, sorry. I'm getting things backward. When TV was first coming out and people still had radio, the people who had radio were thinking, it's just a fad, it won't replace the radio. And then it did. But then, movie theaters were going, oh, TV, it's just a fad, it won't replace movie theaters. And then it did. So, that's kind of what Blockbuster was operating under, like, oh, online streaming, it's just a fad, it won't replace Blockbuster. And then it did. So, I'm really hoping for, like, Blockbuster Phantom Menace Returns type deal to happen. Because, good lord, streaming is so terrible. Streaming is, like, one of the worst things to ever happen, in my opinion. Hang on, I'm just, like, checking colors here. Okay, this can actually go above that. But, streaming like, definitely one of the worst things to happen to media, just on the virtue of, oh, I would like to watch this thing. Well, we don't have it anymore. Okay, why not? Because it's in Brazil. Why is it in Brazil? Why can't it be here? Because what? Because that, and like, it can happen, and it has happened, where you can buy a movie on like Google Play or whatever. Not Google Play, I don't remember or care what the title of Google's movie service is, but you can buy a movie on it, and then for whatever reason, say a server goes down, or they just decide not to offer that movie anymore, that movie you bought, not rented, bought, can just be gone. And it's like, you didn't pay for it. Well, you didn't pay for it. You didn't buy it. You were, like, leasing it. And they ended your lease, took it away. That's it. Womp womp, too bad. Should've bought the physical copy. Which is the part that's, like, the absolute most annoying about that, is some movies now are coming out exclusively on streaming services, and then they'll be hosted on these services for a while, and the service will just take it off. And because there was never a physical release, that movie's gone. Like, they're creating lost media now at a pace that I don't approve of. It's disgusting. But well, I'm not gonna say there's nothing we can do about it. There's not a whole lot we can do about it, but there's ways you can keep movies. None of which are exactly the most legal. So I'm gonna try and be careful what I say here, because I know I'm streaming live, but there are ways to keep movies that you have bought. There are ways to move them onto your own DVDs, and you should definitely look into that, because this crap is getting ridiculous. And you can do the same thing with music. In fact, most computers, if you happen to have a if you happen to have a tape recorder and you plug it into your headphone jack, you can tell your computer it's a set of headphones, and you can record music from pretty much anywhere. And your computer, because it's reading it as headphones, is none the wiser. Now, I'm not saying to do that, because, you know, that's a bad thing, so don't do that. But that's just, like, I'm just telling you, just so you know to not do that, you know? Let's see. I'm, like, losing what I was saying as I'm saying it, just because I'm a little distracted coloring as well. Oh, right, I was gonna talk about the character. I keep getting off track here. So, I'm trying to figure out where to start with the whole story of this story, because there's so much to it. Like, I should honestly just write a book. Yeah, like, the timeline is an utter mess, and the reason it's an utter mess is because a lot of the characters, if anyone knows what a multiverse is, which I imagine a lot of you will, but this is a multiverse type story, and characters are hopping between said multiverses, and not every single multiverse is at the same point in time. So like some can be like in the medieval ages, and then some is just like 2010s. So when I tried to map out the timelines, it got messy really fast, just for that fact alone, because it's figuring, okay, this character is from the medieval ages, but she ends up meeting up with this guy who's not, but he's from the 2010s, but he's technically timeline-wise older, so it's just like a whole mess, really, trying to figure out the timeline. And I did it to myself. Like, I didn't have to get in-depth to this extent, but when you're writing a story, when you're really having fun with it, you don't think about the plot holes until it's way too late, and you're like, oh god, how do I explain this? And then half the time, people, especially places like Hollywood, just leave the plot hole and hope you don't notice. And that is something I could do. I could just leave plot holes, but like, my soul says no. You gotta have an explanation, because if you don't have an explanation, someone's gonna notice, and then they're gonna call you out, and they're gonna go, hey, well, you said this thing, but that kind of, like, leaves a weird hole here or a contradiction there. So, why'd you do that? And then I'll go, well, I was writing this story, and I wasn't thinking because I was having fun. And that's a crap cop-out answer. But that's perfectionism on my part, which I'm trying to work past. I'm trying to let myself have plot holes that I don't need to explain every little nano bit of it. And it's hard. It is really hard to do that. Because when you're writing something, or just creating a story in general, you want to explain every part of it so like readers understand every part, because you got so many ideas and you just want to share it. But you can end up overwriting, like writing way too much about your world or whatever, that you kind of get caught up in that, and then you never end up finishing the thing. Which, boy oh boy, have I done that a lot. And I'm not proud of that. But you gotta be able to let yourself not finish everything. And sometimes it's better to like leave a plot hole, if for no other reason than to give your audience or whoever's looking at whatever you're doing something to think about. Like, maybe you leave a plot hole and it's not something you noticed, or it is something you noticed, but the theories that people come up with because of that plot hole are more interesting than anything you were thinking about in the first place, and it's like, oh, well, I like your idea. I like your idea, so I'll just make that canon. I've done that a lot. Or you don't even do that, you just leave the plot hole, and it just gives people something to engage with in your work, beyond just reading it, or watching it, or just like enjoying it. It gives them something to think about. And I keep getting off track, and I haven't said like much of squat about my story here. Oh my goodness. This just goes to show how scatterbrained I am. I don't even know where to start. Like, the problem is I don't know where to start with it because there's so much. Like, there's so many characters that I actually ended up building a website. Not just to keep track of the characters, but to kind of keep track of what blogs were involved and some major plot beats, because the story I'm doing here, it's not so much like story point A to point B, it's more character driven. So that's part of what's making it a problem to figure out how to explain it. Because, well, explaining the story involves explaining the characters. And then explaining the characters, there are so many, and a lot of them interlock in different ways. I really did this to myself. So, I guess the best way to explain this would be to kind of go from like the first character I made and then go from there. And I don't know how many people are in the chat, but like I said, I'm still only seeing one. So that's fun. Get something to drink. I know you're still here. I see you yapping. And I really appreciate having you here, you know? I have, just for anyone who don't know, I have a Discord. And I'm going to go yell in there because I know there's some people in there, and I know they're not, I don't know if they're in here. Alright, let's see. Go into the Discord to yell at people. Streaming. Ow. There we go. Because sometimes you gotta go into your Discord and say, hey, I'm doing a thing. Come look. Oh, okay. I'm dumb. One of the people who was gonna be in the stream is doing an exam right now. I didn't realize. Oops. There we go. Okay. I'ma just pretend I knew that. Pretend I remembered that, because boy, oh boy, I should have remembered that. Anyway, so character-wise, the first one I did was Loathsome, and just backtracking once again, these are characters based off of Habit from Everyman Hybrid. This is based off the story from Everyman Hybrid. You don't have to watch Everyman Hybrid to understand fully what I'm doing, but it certainly does help, and just having like a basic knowledge of what Habit the character was helps. So I guess I'll give a basic rundown of that before I get too far into my character explanations. So Everyman Hybrid was a 2010s type Slenderverse series on YouTube, so if you happen to know Marble Hornets, same genre. And Habit was their main big bad guy in that series. Slenderman was there for a bit, but like he seriously got overshadowed in the funniest possible way. But so Habit was one of the characters, and he was basically every bad person, every bad habit of mankind wrapped up into one little possession package. I can't really call him a demon because I don't know if he really was one. Like, it's a little ambiguous on that in the series. But he ends up possessing one of the main characters, Evan, and bad things happen. But that's just the absolute, like, most dirt poor basic explanation of Habit. He's just every bad thing wrapped up into one guy. And a lot of people really like that character. A lot of people really like that character. So people were doing like fan trials, because one of the things off of EMH was the Trials of Habit. So the series was an ARG, alternate reality game, meaning that it kind of included things for people who were watching to do. So the Trials of Habit, it was like certain things that players would have to do, like burying a specific object or like reciting a poem in public, things like that. So people after this series kind of wrapped up, and during a lot of the hiatuses, because boy oh boy did this have some long hiatuses, they ran their own like fan trials, like playing as Habit. And the problem I noticed with a lot of them is they would focus specifically, like they would focus on only a few things about Habit. They would focus on him being like murdery and like cringe, but they left out a lot of the other things that this character had or implied, because like he was mankind's bad habits, but like murder is one thing. It's one of the other, wow, I'm losing what I'm saying. Like, murder is one thing, which his character did, and did very efficiently, but he's mankind's bad habits. So bad habits, that can include stuff like not putting away your laundry on time, or like not brushing your teeth. So like things like that. So with the story I am doing, I've got, sorry, one more thing about canon Habit. In the series, there was iterations, and what that was is the main cast of characters were just kind of like being sent through a loop. Not a time loop, but like they would just keep being brought back by Habit to be tormented some more. So in the series, it's not the first time they've had to deal with Habit, but they don't really know that. It's a little muddy on that end too, but whatever. Doesn't matter too much for my explanation. But anyway, so with what I was doing is I noticed that people are only focusing on one or two real things about Habit, and they weren't really looking at the iteration thing as much. So here I come in, and I figure, hey, I can do a multiverse thing. I can make a bunch of habits, and they can be other habits, not just the one trait of being murdery. Like, they can be lazy, they can be cringe, they can be more than one thing. So from that, I started a Tumblr blog, because I'm a godless heathen who uses Tumblr in the year of our Lord 2025. And I've been using it since before the year of our Lord 2025. It's like the last tolerable place on the internet. So I started a blog with Loadsome, and I called him that because there's a ton of habits in my story here, so I gave them nicknames to differentiate them, because there's a ton. There is so many. And I started with Losum, and he's the closest to what canon Habit was. Like, character-wise, he is the closest to the real deal. And I was voice acting with him, which was really fun. And I actually stopped voice acting a little while ago on the blog. I think like not months ago, but I guess close to a year, because I got COVID and it really messed my voice up, and I've been coughing ever since. Kind of working on that, trying to fix that. But anyway, so I was voice acting him, and I started to kind of hint at other characters, and then I brought in other characters by a vote. So I gave a list of words on Tumblr. People voted for like whichever ones they liked best. I picked 5 of those, and I brought 5 characters in that corresponded to those names. And I was voice acting those too, so at that point I was voice acting 6 different characters, and because in the lore Habit is possessing Evan, I was voice acting Evan as well. So technically I had 7 voices at the time. 7? Wilson, Evan, Star, okay, 5, sorry. I was voice acting 5 at the time. And from there, started getting story stuff, sort of. And because this was an Ask blog, people can ask questions, and I would answer, so I was trying to make it very interactive from the very start. And eventually, I got to a point where I did a big, fully, like, voice-acted event type thing, and I introduced another new character, so that was another new voice. And my lungs hated me. But at that point, I think I was doing like 7 voices. I had a lot. I'm losing what I'm saying as I was saying it, but then I started another blog, and this was for one of the characters who he has still not been voice acted, but I started other side blogs for other characters that I wasn't voice acting, just because like that is a lot of voices to come up with, that is a lot of voice lines to record. And it kind of expanded out from there because some of the people who were asking questions actually ended up creating their own blogs with their own characters for the story, which is really cool. And this became a really big collaborative thing. I actually ended up making a Discord server for it. But basically, the whole thing behind it, and this is going to be... I'm not going to call it spoilers, but the whole thing behind it, and this hasn't been super explicitly revealed on the blog yet, but it is like kind of hinted at, is that all of these different habits kind of want to be like the one habit, like the big cheese. I'm the only guy, I am the worst of the worst, so yeah. So they're basically trying to take each other out, because why would they want to deal with other versions of themselves? Because one of the habit's traits is he's kind of full of himself. So they're trying sort of to take each other out, and some are forming alliances just to keep themselves safer for longer so they can get stronger and then obviously take out the others. And then some aren't forming alliances, but the main thing behind it is there is one who's really, really big, and he's the reason that these other habits are able to get between iterations, as I was calling them. Basically just multiverse thing, but this one big major guy, he was the first one to figure out how to get between iterations, and I never explained it. I probably never will, so that's going to be a fun little plot hole to theorize about, I suppose. But basically, the first guy who figured it out, first habit who figured it out, he got big. He got really, really big, really, really destructive, and he's dying. He's basically ripping himself apart, because, like, that is a lot of habits in one body, and they don't like each other. But he does not want to die because, well, why would he? So, in his, like, little death throes, his little thrashes, he's ripping open spaces between iterations, which is allowing everyone else to travel between them. So, that's basically, like, I guess the main story to it. there's a lot more to it. There's a lot smaller things and like different character interactions and whatnot, but that's like the biggest gist of it, I suppose. So from this point, I can finally, I think, start explaining the different characters. Oh my goodness, this was like a long ramble just to get to the characters. So, Loathsome was the one I started with. He was the first blog, first character. He's not the big one. He's not the one who's like causing all the rifts, but he was the first one I introduced just because he's the closest to the canon character in terms of how he talks and behavior. And from that point, I introduced Fairmount, Stephbit, and Northstar, I believe. So those three, they're different from Habit in a couple of very major ways. So from the original series, there was the main group from the original series was Evan, Vincent, Jeff, and Steph. So one of the first things I did was Stephbit. She is a Habit that is inhabiting a Stephanie rather than an Evan, and that's an exception, not the rule. Fairmount is just like another Evan, Northstar's another Evan, but she's not. So those were the first of the new characters I introduced on the blog, just cause. And then there was Centralia, there was Showbit. He came on the big voice acted thing. I very much love Showbit. There was Evan Corenthal, so one of the other characters. He was not a main character. He was kind of a main character, but he wasn't like in every episode, but was Dr. James Corenthal. And so I have one of the other characters, Evan Corenthal. And he actually ended up getting his own blog, which I haven't done anything with in a long time. Like, a lot of these blogs, I haven't touched them in a while just because I've had other stuff going on and I've kind of been losing motivation for it, because in the server, it used to be very, very, like, people were talking all the time, and now it's not so much, so it's a little disheartening, but I'm still kind of chipping away at it. But anyway, I had those, I had, Octantis, I had Marburg. Like, there's so many characters to this, and not all of them are mine either. Like I said, people started joining the story to work on it, so there's characters on blogs I don't run, and they are so cool. Like, one of them is Fembit, so just Evan, but he's trans. And that one's really neat. But anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. Like, loads of characters, and for all of the ones I made, they do all have backstories. They do all have their own goals, their own ambitions, and whatnot. So it gets like really complicated when you get into the nitty-gritty of each individual character. But this specific one I'm drawing right now because I'm just gonna say it. I watched Steven Universe. I thought the fusions were cool. So this one is just kind of like a little fusion between Evan Corenthal and Showbit. So that's basically the story behind this guy I'm drawing right now. I don't have a name for him, and that's okay. I don't need to come up with one. I'm just drawing a dude. There we go. Fix that. Yeah. But yeah, there's like, when I build stories, I put so much into them, probably way more than I actually need to. Because I really enjoy world building, and I love making characters, so for me, this is just, it's like Christmas for me. Why did that fill the whole thing? Oh, that's why it filled the whole thing. See, if you leave gaps, the paint bucket don't work too good. So I just gotta make sure that there's no weird little stray pixels, because sometimes that happens. Especially with the brush I'm using, because it's a textured one. And I'm just gonna make sure there's no weird little bits. So far it looks... there's a weird little bit. These headphones hurt my ears. Like, and the only reason they're hurting my ears is because I've been wearing them so much, but they hurt my ears. The server absolutely needs to get more active. Like, I find that it's easiest for me to make stories when I've got people to bounce off of. Because, like, when people are joking, oh, I bet this character would do this, I'm like, haha, yeah! Wait, that could be canon. That could be a thing. I could add that. So, when I'm writing, it's hard for me to just write on my own, funny enough. Hey, if you want to say something in the server, honestly, please do. Because I keep meaning to, and then I forget. And that's kind of on me. Because, like I said, like, I've lost a lot of motivation with this project. I'm not going to scrap it. I'm not going to end it, not by any means, but it's definitely a little hard to work on when I put something in the server and then, like, nobody says anything. And it's like, oh, well, okay then. I guess y'all aren't in the mood for it? I hope? I don't know. Yeah. But, I mean, I guess that's something important to think about, too, when you're making something that, like, yeah, when you're making something, you gotta keep up with it, because if you have an audience, especially with this type of project, because this is an ongoing project, if you don't, like, keep up with it, your audience will get a little bored, a little impatient. And that's kind of on me. I mean, granted, my mental health hasn't always been the absolute pinnacle, so there have been times where I've just taken a break from this just because I'm not feeling good at all. But it's also like, there's been times where I should work on it, and then I'm just like playing Minecraft. But like, the lack of interaction feeds the procrastination, which feeds the lack of interaction. It's a terrible feedback loop. It really sucks. But there is one thing that I'm trying to finish more than anything else for this particular story, because I know that this piece alone will help drive a lot of engagement, and that's Evan Kornthal's journal. Because I've been making physical media for this. Because, like I said, in the original series, they had the Trials of Habit, so there were physical aspects to that original story. So I've been trying to finish Evan Kornthal's journal, because that's something that I can mail that out to someone. And then their character can post about finding it or whatever, and like that will immediately like get some things back on track. But I need to finish it. And I haven't. Granted, I wrote myself into a corner. Because with this journal, I was writing initially because of who Evan Kornthal is as a character. I was writing him, like, kind of trying to catalog other habits and then meeting them and dealing with them. But the problem is like, I've written so much about that in this journal, it's like, well, what do I write next? What do I put in here next? What do I do now? So I wrote myself into a little bit of a corner where I don't really know what to do with it, but I'm not at the end of the journal. So it's like, oh no, this is an issue. Hi! I'm just talking about characters and stories and such. And my struggles to finish one. But I was just yapping about the whole backstory and lore for how this specific character came up. And it's because of Everyman Hybrid Slenderverse series. Oh, you passed? Hell yeah, dude. Guys, people, cheer him on. That's amazing. Yeah. We love academic achievement here. Heck yeah, dude. But anyway, I was just kind of yapping about, with this specific character, kind of the project behind it, and struggles with it because, well, it's hard to finish things. It's always hard to finish things, especially when you're like having fun with it, and then you're like, well, I don't want to end it. I got ideas. I got more I want to do, and then you don't finish it. But you can watch back through the stream whatever and just see all the yapping I was doing, but basically a quick run through is this specific character came from a blog I started inspired by Everyman Hybrid, and the whole story behind that is like multiverses, characters fighting each other because they want to be the last character standing, essentially. That's like in like the smallest, tiniest little nutshell you can imagine. But there's so much to it, and like I said, I built a website for it, which definitely needs updating. There's definitely things I haven't put on that site yet that needs to be on that site. But I can actually link that in the chat if you guys like, because it's got a lot more information on the characters than anything I've said in the stream, just because I was specifically writing about them. Backstory stuff, their own little quirks and whatnot. You know what? I think I will put that in the chat, just for anyone who was here during that whole rant. Oh, you know what? I mean, like I said earlier, you don't actually need to watch the entire series and the entire, like, lore behind it to understand what I'm doing, because what I'm doing is an offshoot off of one character. So, in reading through the website, because the story I'm doing is very character driven rather than this is a specific story, you can actually catch up decently fast with what I'm doing. And like I said, it's based off of Habit from EMH, so if you understand Habit and have a base idea of who he is as a character and what he's done, you'll understand what I'm doing with this. And if you have like a basic understanding of just the rest of the lore, you don't need to watch the entire series. So I'm actually, I'm gonna link the website I was working on. So this website, it's got, I think it's got all of the characters I was writing, I think. No guarantees. I'm waiting for it to load on my end. I don't know why it's like taking a minute here. Hello? Website. Homepage, question mark. What is going on here? Oh, okay. The website's still up because I'm hosting it on NeoCities. So, yeah. But I have art. I've got the historical entries page, which it definitely has some lore stuff that is very helpful. Oh, it doesn't have lore stuff. Okay, well, I have the historical entries page. It gives a base explanation of some stuff. And then there's the major events page, which is not loading very fast here. Okay, the major events page is just like, I started this blog, and then I started this blog, and whatnot. The historical events page has a base explanation of, like, the story, I guess. And then if you go through the characters, it gives a lot of stuff about the specific characters. And then there's an art page. It doesn't have all the art I've done of the characters, and none of them are labeled as, this is this character, this is this character. But it does have art. So that's good, I guess. That's fun. Yeah. Oh my god, what is on my arm? I'm also noticing the music has stopped. I'm gonna fix that in a second here. I'm just like, something's stuck to me. Whatever. Anyway, let's get the music fixed. What happened here? Why did this stop? Hello? Okay, I don't know what happened there. Alright, so, yeah, there you go. There's the website, I got the music back up, we seem to be functioning in real time, which is good. Alright, what shall I yap about next? Productivity, perhaps? I've been having trouble finishing this series, but, well, I can't even call it a series because it's an ARG, so it's interactive, but the problem is when people don't interact, the series doesn't go anywhere. And I can't call it a series because there's not specific, like, episode 1 or story A or whatever. But whatever, I'll get around to doing more for it eventually. I almost always do. Whew, my mouth is dry. Oh, the cat people! Okay, cat people. As in, like, the D&D ones I was showing off in my sketchbook earlier? Like, are those the cat people you talking about? Oh, what is going on with my arm? The ones I mentioned in the server. The ones I mentioned in the server. Well, I'm gonna have to open the server here, because I don't remember what I said. Yeah, I know it's size server. Like I said, I don't remember where I was talking about that. Or what I was talking about. No, I wanna talk more about those cat people. I just gotta find where I was mentioning the cat people. Oh my god. The ones I mentioned in size server. Do you know what channel that was in? Because if I can, like, see the channel, then I'll, like, it'll click instantly what I was talking about. Cat people. You're gonna have to find where I mentioned those cat people in the server, because I'm not remembering what I was talking about right now, but I want to talk about it because I love cats, and I have a vague idea I might know what you're talking about. Maybe? Horrible wet cat men. Okay. Okay. Wait a minute. What channel was... That's in general. Horrible wet cat men. Wait a minute. I don't think I was talking about cat people. I'm gonna be perfectly honest. I don't think I was talking about cat people. Ever I could counter with the horrible wet catman I invented y'all ain't even seen yet. Yep, okay, I know what this was talking about. This was not talking about cat people specifically. This was actually talking, and I'm not even kidding, about the big project I was just talking about. And the horrible wet catmen in question were in reference to some of the characters. Here, I can open some art of them because I have drawn some. That is funny though. That is delightful. So, one of the quote-unquote horrible wet catmen I mentioned, well, that I was meaning when I mentioned that, you know where it is, was Fairmount, and, like, he's a loser. I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it. This guy's a nerd. He's a loser, he's a dork, he's a dweeb. Yeah. Then I've also got Alternaria, named after the mold. He's horrible, he's a loser, he's a dweeb. I'd turn off the background so you can kind of see him a little better in some of the shading. He's horrible, he's a loser, he's a dweeb. I have him as my computer background, funny enough. And then I've got, let's see what other losers I have that I made. Evan Corenthal is an incredible one, an incredible example of a loser, but, like, I don't think I have digital art of him, unfortunately. Which is a real shame, because I love him. He's definitely one of my favorites in this project, not gonna lie to you. But yeah, I have a lot of new characters I made that, like I said, are for this project. But the other problem is that, like, most of them are drawn on paper as opposed to digital. So finding them is a little bit of a trouble, a little bit of a kerfuffle, a problem even. Oh my goodness. Although if you do want me to talk about little cat people, I do have a little cat person I can talk about, which is Phoebe here. She was in a D&D campaign I ran. She's got her little traveling wagon, and she sells weird, mysterious artifacts. She's mute, and the reason is because, yeah. So she's mute, and the whole reason behind that is that all of the things in her wagon are ill-gotten goods she has stolen. So her curse will be lifted if she just gets rid of everything in the wagon, but the problem is like, she'll see something shiny and steal it and unintentionally prolong her own curse. And I love her, so almost every single D&D campaign I've run, I've included her just as an NPC, because she's so gooby. She's so silly. I'm glad you remember her. But, oh my goodness. Yeah, she's just so silly, because her curse is her own fault. She's aware it's her own fault, and she keeps stealing things anyway. Yeah! Yeah, exactly! I'm actually really glad you remember her. Oh my goodness, but yeah. Yeah. I have to get back into that. I have to start, like, running D&D again. Like, I'm itching for it. I actually wrote an entire campaign themed around Supernatural recently here. I just finished drawing the maps. All that's left for me to do is, like, place treasure and enemies, and I think I'm set to run that one. Very true. Very true. Let's see, just following the line here. Definitely getting more done coloring this guy, though, than we did last time. A little more in the zone. Yeah! Okay, so, for people who don't know, I used to be very into Spamton, so, like I said, I took, like, exactly like what I did with Habit. I took one character and built an entire story based off that character, because I have no self-control. But what ended up happening with that one is the Horsemen of the Apocalypse got involved in the story. And they were kind of locked into human vessels, so as mentioned in the chat, there was War and Randy. So here's them actually. But yeah, that one was a fun one. I don't know if I'll ever finish that. I don't think I will, but that was a very fun story to work on. As for Supernatural, like, I beg you, find somewhere to watch it, please. Like, I love this show. It's so silly. like it's a horror show, sort of, and there's melodrama. There's the whole Dad left on a hunting trip and he hasn't been home in a few days. Oh, Dad was just avoiding us. Never mind. That was my favorite plot beat in the entire show. Just, we gotta find Dad, Sam. Dad's gone, and that's bad. We found Dad, Sam. Dad just didn't want shit to do with us. Dad left to pick up milk. Oh my goodness. And then, like, trying to talk about that series without, like, spoiling anything is an absolute minefield, but, like, this thing's been off the air for years, so viewers' discretion advised at this point in the stream. Oh, okay. Okay, well, as long as, like, you have a little bit of knowledge, that's good. But just, I love how goofy that series is as a whole. Because so many of their problems would be solved by just having a conversation. But no. No, 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 no. They are men. Men do not converse. Men be passive-aggressive. Oh, man. I think I've actually got, like, some art I did of them on my computer here. I think. But caught up for season 11, stopped after the half of 12. You know what? Oh, yeah. Honestly, I keep seeing it be said that, like, the true ending of Supernatural was season 5. And I'm gonna, like, I am gonna watch the whole thing regardless, but I kind of agree. I kind of agree that season 5, yeah, that's the stopping point. That's before it jumped the shark. You know what? Fair enough. Gabriel was silly. He's a silly, goofy little guy. He definitely didn't do anything wrong ever. Let's see. Like I said, I'm like 90% sure I've got art I did of them. I do! So I have a Secret Santa picture that I did, and I find it immensely funny, because this just seems like some crap Sam would do. No, that's okay. Yeah, exactly. Because this is some crap Sam would do. Just, you're on the naughty list. And I had to include it because I've never seen it in Art of Sam, but no one includes that, like, Jared, the guy who played Sam, he does have, like, a little bit of heterochromia going on with his eyes, because they are, like, they're brown in the center. I never see anyone include that in the art, so I did, because meh. And then I have, like, a whole page of, like, doodles I did. And, oh yeah, he does stupid crap constantly. Like, I really feel like Sam had the brain cells 90% of the time. Like, 99% of the time, he didn't have the brain cells. But, like, this show is just so fun. This show is so fun. And I drew him as a potato. That was an inside joke with a different server I'm in. Had to draw him as a potato. But, yeah. And he's just straight up an alcoholic in the show. Like, it's never touched on, like, once. There was an arc with Sam getting addicted to demon blood, and, like, that was a whole thing. But, no, Dean just gets to be an alcoholic and no one talks about it. Okay, you say, kinda. There's a reason that the first supernatural fanfiction that was ever posted on AO3 was, like, the same day, like, the episode cast showed up, okay? It wasn't just kind of. Like, it was a whole thing. I think it was the first fanfic posted on AO3 specifically was Destiel. Like, oh my god, that's an adventure. That is certainly, like, specifically Cash showing up is the reason that show went on for 15 years. Because it was supposed to end with season 5. And then people loved it so much that the network went, well, we can't kill it now. We gotta keep it going to milk it for money. Yeah, that's funny. That is a thing that happened. Honestly, I genuinely believe that Dean's just buying the series because he has moments of it outside of it just being directed to cast. Like, sometimes there's just men. Like, there was the whole thing where they get sucked into a TV and he's fangirling over, and I quote, Dr. Sexy, who was a man. So, no. To me, Dean is bi. Yeah, exactly, that too. Like, I love that the show was able to poke fun at itself, too, and just go, yep, we know what you're writing. We know what you're doing. Oh, Scooby Natural was delightful. I really liked that, too. I also just really love Scooby-Doo, but... I do find it amazing that in the Scooby Natural crossover episode, Fred was so ready to throw hands with Dracula. Like, there was zero hesitation. Fred was like, I could have been fighting Dracula! I could have been killing real monsters, and I've been unmasking old man Smithers for the past 60 years! Like, Fred was ready. Where am I? That's where I am. That's where I am. Yeah, literally. Dean had a goal and he did not succeed, but Velma succeeded. Velma knew what she was going for, and she went for it. Sam was. You know what? That's not I don't think that was even the first instance of Sam doing that either. Sam would have thrived on Tumblr, okay? He would have... Somebody get that man a MySpace. Yeah, touche. I won't argue that. Man, I'm like kind of in the mood to watch it again now. I have so many shows that I've like been watching on and off because like I've also been watching Dexter for the first time, and I know Tumblr was very they liked Dexter. They really liked Dexter. I don't remember if that was pre or post Hannibal, but they liked Dexter. So I've been finally watching the Tumblr shows, and I started watching that, and I get it. I totally get it. Like, unironically, I've been really enjoying that show. What am I doing here? I'm doing that. That's what I'm doing. You know what? Shaggy could get it, okay? Shaggy, he was an upstanding man. He was wholesome. Like, Shaggy was a good person. And I'm not gonna judge you on that whatsoever, okay? In fact, I'm gonna applaud you because considering most people's fictional crushes, that's like an incredible one to pick. At least it wasn't Dahmer, okay? Anytime you start feeling weird about a crush on a fictional character, just remember there were real fangirls for Dahmer, like, before the TV shows, like, while he was in jail. That was a thing. And Ted Bundy. So anytime you start feeling bad about a fictional crush or weird about a fictional crush, just remember people wanted Dahmer in real life before the show. Yeah! Yeah, and Ed Gein, that's a good one too, yeah. And Ted Bundy and, like, the Night Stalker, Richard Ramirez, that's what it was. Like, anytime there was a serial killer, people were like, I'm mean. Like, no. Those are real killers. We don't stan real killers. Fictional? Okay. Real? Nuh-uh. No. That's bad. Yeah. Like, there was a thing on Tumblr, and it's still a thing. I see it pop up every once in a blue moon, but the Columbiners. That's I don't know about that one. That's not good, Tumblr. That's bad. I don't see it pop up often, but when I do, it's always like, oh. Look, you could've, if you want that type of character, there's JD from Heathers right there. You don't have to focus on those ones. There's JD from Heathers right there. Same type of character. And it was played by Christian Slater. What's not to love? Ed Gein dolls. That is... I don't know about that one. That's a... That's a whom for me. Like, I'm not gonna knock anyone's interests because, well, everyone's got their own interests, and as long as, like, you're not hurting anyone, whatever. But, like, that's definitely a from me. Hey, Harley Quinn can get it, okay? Harley Quinn can get it. I know exactly who you're talking about. I actually saw some art of her recently that I thought was particularly cool. And I was gonna send it in the server, and I forgot. Yeah, like, there's a difference between thinking Michael Myers is neat and Ted Bundy. Michael Myers is not real. And he never killed a real person. Ted Bundy, that's different. That's a real dude. And he did real bad things. And every time I see a cop show or whatever, or true crime, where it's like, the killer was a genius. No, he wasn't. The cops were just bad at their job. Like, that's 90% of the time what happened. Just, like, even Dahmer, one of his victims escaped, and a cop saw it, and Dahmer was like, oh, nothing to see here, it's just my buddy, and the cop was like, okay. Like, these killers weren't geniuses, the cops were just dumbasses. But yeah, like, I feel I know where this stemmed from. The whole, like, if you like this bad fictional character, then you're a bad person in real life. I think I know where that came from. COVID. Because all of the people who were, like, in school bullying you about, like, fictional characters, suddenly they were online, suddenly they were in fandom spaces, and they were seeing things like that, and they were like, well, you like this bad thing, so you're a bad person. without knowing any of the fandom etiquette or rules or culture behind it. So those people, I think they really, like, really heavily increased the whole cringe culture, cancel over everything problems that we have online now. Because if you look pre-COVID, it was bad, but it wasn't this bad. Like, now it's, like, you post about a character who, like, did tax evasion once, and it's like, ah, you're a tax evader! You want to evade taxes, don't you? It's like, no? I don't even know how to evade taxes? What are you talking about? Exactly! Yeah, like, Freddy Krueger, that's actually, like, a very good pick for that. Because, like, man looks like a raisin. But you post about thinking he's a neat character online and people are like, you're a bad person and you should feel bad. And it's like, what are you even talking about? Get out of my inbox. Yeah. Or like, I have a Grey's Anatomy shirt, so I support medical malpractice? No! I don't even know anything medical. Or even better, and I was talking about this earlier, Reanimator. I think Reanimator's neat, so I commit medical malpractice. I'm reanimating the dead? Hi. We're just having a conversation about, cringe culture. Oh yay, that's good. What am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? I'm sampling this color because I've noticed a weird little gap. And sometimes you notice those and you gotta fix that. There we go. And turn the color off to make sure it's the same color, and it wasn't. Oops. Edit, convert to drawing color. There we go. Fixed it up. This... Was that multiply? Yes, it was. I think that was multiply. I don't know what I'm doing. Alright. Yeah, I just had to fix a weird little gap there. I don't know how that happened, but it happened. But yeah, I think cringe culture happened because people who were not internet users got on the internet and wrecked it for everyone. Exactly. You know what? I enjoyed watching House. I actually really enjoyed that show. I joked in the server about this earlier, but I'm gonna bring the joke here. Reanimator is basically House if he was like 10% more insane, not even. Like, if you haven't seen it and you want to watch like a cheesy, really good 80s crap horror movie, watch Reanimator. It's on YouTube right now, and somebody did an AI remaster of it, so it's even like in nice good quality. But like, definitely give that a watch. One of my absolute favorites. I might watch it tonight, I don't know. Would y'all believe we're already at 3 o'clock in the stream? But yeah, so let's see. Like, I don't know, fandoms need to chill out. We need to go back to dead dove don't eat. Like, that was a good rule. I support that rule. Oh yeah, that too! That makes about the same amount of sense. I love it. I think I actually need to go in a little darker right there. And not that dark. Hey, what am I doing here? What am I doing? What are you doing in my swamp? Sometimes you just gotta say random crap. But yeah, back in ye olden days of the internet, so like maybe 5-10 years ago, when people were doing dead dove don't eat, I think that was the peak. I think that's where collectively that was the best time on the internet. Because it was like, oh, you don't want to see this thing? Don't look at it. Click away. If you have a problem with it, don't interact with it. But now it's just, oh, I have a problem with this, so I need to tell the whole world how you're a bad person and you make bad things, and I'm gonna, like, eat your dog. But I'm not gonna eat your dog because I'm not a bad person. I don't even know where that came from. Oh, dead dove don't eat? Okay, so what that was, I will give you a very quick explanation. What dead dove do not eat is there was a episode in Arrested Development in 2003 where Michael opens a paper bag. It's labeled dead dove do not eat. He opens it, and inside the bag is a dead dove. So basically what that's getting at with fandom, fan fiction, everything online is this is labeled as a specific thing. If you don't want to interact with this thing, don't look at it. We labeled it as such so that if you don't want to see it, just don't look at it. But people seem to have forgotten that, and they've moved to, oh, there's a dead dove. I need to tell the world this is bad, this is terrible. But I think if we just go back to, like, you label your things properly, so if people have an issue with it, they can filter it out. And if you don't like a specific thing, filter it out and don't interact with it. Don't make it a huge problem. Yeah. Yeah, you did say that too. And your mileage may vary, that's also a very good one as well. But that's kind of what I subscribe to on the internet, because, like, the big story I'm working on with the habits and whatnot, like, it's very much a dead dove don't eat. Because Habit, he's mankind's bad habit. He's every bad thing humanity's ever done as a character. Like, that's what he is. He's the concept of everything bad put into one character. So I have had people come into my inbox and be like, you're bad for doing this. You shouldn't be doing this. You're terrible. And I'm like, hey, pal, I put the tags. If you don't want to see it, leave. Because this ain't for you if you don't want to see it. Like, you're trying to start an issue, and I'm just minding my own business. So most of the time, if I get anon hate, and this is the best part about Tumblr, if I get anon hate, I delete it. You came onto my front lawn trying to start a fight. I'm just gonna lock the door. Like, I don't know what you want me to do. I'm not gonna come out and, like, get into a huge online argument with you. I'm keeping my peace. You keep yours. Yeah, like I said, as long as, like, nobody's getting hurt, and it's not something, like, actually illegal, damaging, whatever, to, like, real people, then, like, whatever. It's fan fiction. Who gives a crap? And if you give a crap, you're giving too much of a crap. Like, I think Book Talk definitely also had a bit of a hand in that. I have bones to pick with Book Talk, but the biggest bone I have to pick with it is, like, the whole, you need to cater to what I want in your fanfiction, because I've been seeing that. And it's like, no, I'm writing this fanfiction because I want to write it. And they turn around and go, well, I'm not gonna read it then, and don't you want my engagement? Don't you want my follow? And I'm sitting here like, no. I mean, I'm writing this for me. If you enjoy it, cool. But I'm not a big company, I'm not publishing a real book, I'm not making any money off this. So for you to come in and critique it, or tell me I need to change things to keep you in my audience, I'm not gonna do that. You kidding? Like, Book Talk has definitely affected fanfiction in a way that I don't think is entirely positive. And then they've also created the problem of quote-unquote spicy romance books. And it's like, the most, I don't know, spicy for, like, somebody who drinks wine at a book club, maybe? Like, spicy for someone who hasn't seen 50 Shades of Grey? I don't know, like, the spicy, quote-unquote, that Book Talk is fixating on, like, I don't know, but with their fixation on that, it's, like, definitely affecting fan fiction in a way that's not great, but that it's also affecting real published books in that they're starting to read, like, fan fiction. And that's a problem, too. The internet is a blessing and a curse. Exactly. Exactly. There's an entitlement to it, and it's ridiculous. RP blog on yeah. But yeah, it's become very much like I am the consumer, you are producing the product, so if you don't produce the product to my standards, you're gonna lose me as a consumer. And it's like, I'm not making money off this. What do you mean you're a consumer? You're not... What? Get out of here. Get out of here, bozo. Like, there was a whole lawsuit because of this, because y'all, like, companies thought, hey, fanfiction is, like, stealing our profits. And that's why Archive of Our Own was made, because we're not making money off this. We don't need to be making money off this. We're doing it for the love of the game. Like, we're not trying to step on Disney's toes here. We're just writing because we like the characters. Like, I don't know, man. You know what? AO3 is actually, it's pretty chill. Like, from what I've seen on there, and from what I've read, like, it's like one of the last websites on the internet that's tolerable to put fanfiction fanworks on. And do tag it properly, make sure to tag it properly. But, like, if you look at Wattpad, oh my god, it's a disaster. Like, I don't touch Wattpad. Exactly! Like, we're writing it because I'm writing it for myself. If somebody else likes it, that's cool, they can enjoy it. But I wrote this for me. And if you're gonna come in here and tell me, you need to write for me, I'm gonna look at you and laugh. Because you're not paying me, so... Oh yeah, that's weird. I don't know why that was censored either. Like, it didn't give me an option on my end to uncensor that, so I don't know what happened there. Oh, you typed the asterisks? I don't know what's happening there. Things are happening in the chat. If Nightbot's getting out of line again, y'all gotta let me know. Oh, it doesn't show up as a link. Okay, yeah, so you can't put links in the chat. That is something that I know about. You can't actually put links in the chat, so. Oh, fanfic.com. Oh my god, that is a website. Like, that was an experience, fanfiction.com. I read like two books. I read like 2 things on there, and I was like, this is not the place for me, because dear god, people are not labeling things correctly. I went into this expecting this, and then there was wieners, and I had to leave. Like, sometimes people don't tag things, and it's scary when they don't, because then they hit you with the most unexpected crap. Yeah, it was my first one too, before Wattpad. Oh my goodness, like, I feel like it was a formative experience for everyone to have either a Wattpad, a Wattpad account or a fanfiction.net one. At least people from my generation. Oh, and Omegle. That was a formative experience. I went on Omegle once. I saw things I should not have beheld, and I never went there again. Alright. I love how the topic of today's stream appears to be fanfiction. Like, not being ironic, I genuinely love that this is the topic for the stream. Yeah, pretty much. Like, I don't think I ever had, like, a proper fanfiction .net account. I think I just, like, went there to read. I don't know why I went there. I think, like, the only fanfics I ever read on that account were, like, Sonic ones. Okay. Yeah. We just chillin'. You know what? Fair enough. I don't remember really what I was reading in middle school, but that's mainly just because I don't remember middle school. Trauma for the win! I'm hearing tiny trumpets in this intro of this song. I think I read that for class. I think. Then again, it's been like so long, I have no idea. I know that when I was in school, at least, I was supposed to watch, like my class was supposed to read Fahrenheit 451, and it got swapped out for Hatchet. Which, Hatchet, that's an okay story, whatever. But the problem was that we read Hatchet already. Because high school we were supposed to read Fahrenheit 451. Middle school we read Hatchet. So for them to change it, that was questionable. I don't know why they had us read the same book again. But, oh well. Always can read it later. Ain't nothing stopping me. Nothing but my inability to read. Well, I don't have an inability to read, I just don't feel like it right now. Yeah. And we were also, when I was in school, we were also supposed to read The Boy in the Striped Pajamas, and we didn't. We were supposed to read 1984, and we didn't. We were supposed to read... We read Romeo and Juliet. We did do that one. But, yeah. We didn't read Holes. We watched the movie for Holes. That was a choice. Oh, where's this gonna... Yep, that spell. I knew it was gonna happen. Okay, where is the... Oh, that's where. Didn't mean to activate that layer. I meant to deactivate this one. You know what? I think that everyone should read banned books. Specifically banned books, because, well, most of the time the reason they were banned is because, oh, it could upset the children, or the children won't understand. But the children need to be reading these books. The children absolutely need to be reading these books. Like Fahrenheit 451, for an example. You should, the children should be reading. I know that, and I actually have a book that was banned later along the line, and I can't believe the reason why it was banned. But anyway, so, in most, like, yeah, I can't believe The Handmaid's Tale was banned. That's scary. But, I have a book that was banned, and I do have The Handmaid's Tale as well. But, Mein Kampf is not banned in many, many, many places in the world. But Mouse is banned. Mouse is a book that was written, I don't think it was by a Holocaust survivor, but it was by someone, like, I think he was told the stories. Anyway, I have that book, and it was banned. And the reason it was banned was, like, I think, like, quote-unquote distressing material. And all I can think is, you ban this book, but you don't ban the one that the big, funny mustache man himself wrote? Huh? Like, that one, I can't get over that one, but I can't change that was what was banned and what wasn't, because I'm not in charge of that, even though it would be lovely. But, yeah, so that book, if you're able to find it, whether it's online PDF or in a bookstore somewhere, definitely give it a read. I can't say I enjoyed it because, well, the subject matter is not really enjoyable, but it's definitely a book worth reading. Definitely a book that should be read. Yeah. I don't know if I'd call it ironic or scary, but yeah, that one should not have been banned. Yeah. like, I genuinely, for the life of me, cannot figure out why Mouse had to be banned, but the other one didn't. It's gross, really. It's gross. But I have a copy, and they can't take it. So, haha. Yeah, I mean, I personally think that, like, unless there is a book that is specifically, like, a handbook for how to create weapon of mass destruction in your own backyard, like, that book probably shouldn't be going out to people, but, like, I think that in most cases, books don't need to be banned. In most cases. Like, granted, there will always be, like, this is a book for how to commit a specific crime step by step. Like, that probably shouldn't be out there, but even then, I suppose a case could be made for why it should be around. But, like, the vast majority of books should not be banned. Because they're books. Like, I have a couple of books that are technically banned, and I've read them, and, like, for the most part, like, there's nothing that people won't be able to handle in these books. Exactly, and when you bury history, you tend to end up doing it again. Those who don't know their history are doomed to repeat it. And those who consciously bury their history are intending to repeat it. I also find it funny, though, when certain aspects of history are not mentioned because they make the country or person in question not look good. Such as the fact that the States has tried to invade Canada and, I guess, save Canada from itself 4 times. And 4 times Canada has gone, no, we're not becoming part of your country, bro. And apparently that's not taught in American schools, which I find that pretty funny. But oh well, I mean, why would you teach about your losses? You teach about your wins, because you want to be, like, known as amazing and cool and, like, you're the strongest. So don't teach about your losses, because then people might think you lose. They might think you're not invincible. I'm sorry, but I don't know, it's weird what is and isn't taught in places in the world, because, like, up here in Canada, when I went through school, for some reason, we learned ancient history, and then we learned world history, and then we learned American history, and then grade 12 we learned Canadian history. Like, I'm in Canada, and I learned Canadian history in grade 12. And it wasn't a mandatory course. All of the history courses were electives. That is weird. I don't like that. I think Canadian history should be taught first in Canada. I'm not saying that we shouldn't learn world history or, like, other countries' history, and, like, we definitely should learn American history, because, like, they're our next door neighbors, but I kind of feel like you should know the history of your own country first. Just a wild take here. Yeah. Then again, my high school where I live, it's like, I'm not even kidding, until grade 11 it was until grade 10 it was 100% white kids in my high school, and they were, unfortunately, those kind of white kids. And where I lived, it was like very small farming town, so unfortunately it was, not great. Ooh, I'll definitely give that book a look. I haven't read that one yet, but yeah, so my high school, not great. I remember not having Black History Month until we got, like, one black kid joined the school. They started doing Black History Month, which that That's something. And then when we got one indigenous kid in the school, they started, and I quote, I'm quoting directly from the morning announcements, when we got an indigenous kid in my high school, they started thanking the indigenous people for letting us use their land. That's not what we did. That's not what happened. That is not at all what happened. So my high school was not good. But I'm not there anymore. So that's good. Yeah, definitely, it was really sketch. But the schools I'd been to before that, they were schools with very mixed, class, like, populations, I guess. So, when, like, growing up, I didn't have the same experience as the kids in my high school. Growing up, I had more diversity around me. Which, God, I'm glad. I am so glad. But that's enough putting my high school on blast. Let's do a new topic. Because I'm trying not to get too political here, but I've definitely been leaning into it in this stream, so I'm gonna try and ease back just in case. Don't want to get, like, yoinked or goinked on Twitch. Oh, okay. So, let's see. What shall we yap about now? We could always go back to fanfic as a topic. You know what? I do have a topic I kind of was wanting to talk about that I didn't really have a segue into, but I know that the last stream, more character bios in the future? Probably. I got a lot. But, like I was saying, I didn't really have a way to segue into it, but, last stream we were talking a lot about just art stuff, like techniques, not comparing yourself to others, yada yada yada. And I was thinking for this stream, just because I'm working on an OC, we could talk about writing OCs. Because that's fun. And it's definitely a lot lighter than the previous topics. Alright. So, OCs, writing OCs. Ooh, got the hiccups. Where should I start? Do you want me to... You know what? If you're in the chat, if you could give me a topic about writing OCs that you would want to hear about, learn about, I can ramble on that. So just give me a topic in the chat about OCs, and I'll yap what I can. I'm not gonna say I'm a perfect teacher, because I'm not, but if there's any knowledge I'm able to impart, I'm happy to share it. Look, I know you want me to talk about Catherine, okay? I meant, like, with this, I meant specifically, like, if there's something about building a character that you struggle with, I can talk about that kind of topic. But I mean, I can use her as an example while I'm talking. Ooh, character flaws, okay. Well, I can use Catherine as an example for while I talk about that. So, character flaws are definitely something that, like, they're hard to put into a character, especially when you really like a character and you want people to like your character. It's hard to give them flaws because you don't want people to dislike them. But I've found that when you write a character with flaws, sometimes that becomes some of their, like, best traits. And I know I mentioned before that with characters you can flip every strength into a weakness and every weakness into a strength. And it's the same deal with flaws. So, let's see. With Catherine specifically, I know I didn't really flesh her out a whole ton, but I'll do my best to yap with her as an example because I know you want me to talk about her. So, character flaws. I know with her, I wrote her to be, like, she's confident, but she's, like, overly confident to the point where, like, she's kind of full of herself. So, that's an easy way to turn like a strength into a flaw. So confidence, definitely strength. Being confident is delightful. It's great. And you can turn it into a character flaw by just pushing it just a little further. Like, yeah, they're confident to the point where maybe it annoys other characters, or maybe they're oblivious to some of their own flaws because they're confident. Because they're so confident, I mean. And I know that with Catherine, also known as Broadcaster, that was one of her flaws, that she's a very confident character to the point where she's not noticing her own flaws, and she's not noticing her own points where she could be weak against something. Like, she is a mechanical character, but she considers herself perfect, not realizing that, hey, you're mechanical. If you get water into certain parts of your systems, you're in trouble. But that's not something she even thinks about, just because of who she is as a person. I'm getting overheated. I know you like her. And I've found that, like, the easiest way to pick flaws for a character, at least in my experience, is I write a character, and I write, like, their strengths or whatever first, and then I try and find, like, how can I push this strength into being a weakness? So maybe they're, like, very, very smart character, but they're oblivious about something because they're smart in this one topic and not in this one. Just give me a second, I'm cleaning my glasses, because I splashed water on them. Have trouble making super powerful OCs. Dragon Ball as a setting has so many super powerful OCs, and I struggle with having my own OC having a world breaker power. Okay, so let's see. What kind of struggle do you mean with making a powerful character? Like keeping it like scale-wise appropriate to the rest of the characters in something, or like knowing she's powerful enough, or like what are we talking there? Because I can help a little depending on what you mean. Because I know it's easy as well to like overpower a character, especially in a setting where there's lots of powerful characters, and it's also easy to unintentionally underpower a character. Oh, scale-wise. Okay. So, I think scale-wise with a setting where you've got lots of characters that have lots of powers, the best thing to do at the start is to establish like a baseline. So, you figure out what the least powerful character in a setting is, and you figure out what the most powerful character is, and you can kind of average from there. So, like, if the least powerful character in a setting has super strength, and the most powerful character in a setting can, like, delete Pluto, like, just look at Pluto and go, nah, and Pluto's gone, then, like, maybe the midpoint is this character can, like, move planets out of orbit, or physically they can destroy a planet, but they can't like do it psychically or whatever. So it's important to find like what's the highest, what's the lowest, and where can you find a midline. Because once you've got that, it's a little easier to scale it. So say your character is psychic and they can like talk to people on the other side of the world. To scale that up, it could be maybe they can talk to people on the other side of a solar system, or talk to people on the other side of like a universe. Like it's fun when you get into scaling, really. She's a time patroller, so she needs to be able to handle time anomalies, meaning she has to beat up other characters in the setting when something goes wrong. Okay, so we're talking time travel stuff. Okay. Well, like, I feel like I would definitely be able to help a lot more if I had, like, more lore about the character, but I'm gonna try regardless. So, I'm assuming she has some kind of time travel ability, right? Made it for Xenoverse. I don't know what Xenoverse is. But, am I right in that she has some kind of time travel power? Where am I on the wing? I'm over here. Need to fix that a little. She was given the ability to time travel by her bosses who run the whole time patroller thing. One is a god of time. Okay. Okay. So, are you trying to make her more powerful or less powerful? My mouth is so dry, guys. I hate this. There we go. And then I gotta seal it on that side. There we go. And I should just be able to boop-a-doop. Watching out for those weird little gaps. Would y'all believe it's already 4? Like, where is the time going? More powerful. She's not strong when considering her setting. She can't do the transformation her species can. Hers end up looking very different. Yeah, it is already 4, huh? Okay, so let's see. What can you do? Maybe she doesn't have the transformations, but I'm just trying to think here, because, like, I don't really know the universe that she's from, so it's gonna be weird. It's gonna be limited advice, but let's see. Maybe she doesn't have the same transformations, but is there a way that maybe she would figure out how to use that to her advantage? Like, this is not the same transformation that someone else would have, so they don't expect it and they're underestimating what she can do with said transformation? Because that could be interesting. Oh, I'm getting messaged. Ah! I don't want to get messaged. Oh, okay. Yeah, definitely like to see the message after the stream here. Alright. But, yeah, like maybe she can use that unexpectedness, like the whole element of surprise. And then... You know what? It's kind of like what I did when I was in film school. Like, I didn't have the same equipment as everyone else, so I took what I did have, and I pushed what I had to the absolute limit and I leaned into the limitation. Like, oh, I can't get 4K quality on my video, but I can make it 80s themed, so it makes sense for it to be crappier. Yeah. She has mentors she can learn moves from when being God of Destruction. Okay. Okay, see, there you go. And you know what? Time travel, God of Destruction, like, you could get real silly with that. That could be cool. The stripe kind of goes up into the other stripe, which I didn't intend for, but I'm just gonna roll with it. Whatever. Like, I'm just imagining, like, with God of Destruction combining with time travel stuff, like... Oh, that could be interesting. My brain is going like, what if time is paused, and with God of Destruction technique, just very casually move 5 atoms of this guy's eye to the left, and then boom, he's blind. I don't know. Oh, okay. Cool. I don't know why that kind of made me think of Pokemon. OC wants to learn Explosion. I do like that we're almost done coloring the dark spots on this. Almost. I'm finally remembering to use the paint bucket tool. The fill bucket tool, whatever. Whatever you want to call it. I usually don't call the tools anything because I paint in silence. There we go. I gotta fix my hair here. Hat's crushing it. There we go, that's a little better. I think the reason my mouth keeps getting dry is I'm just talking so much. And that is officially the last of the water. Also made her part of the evil army for Frieza, but only because she fits in with the Ginyu Force, but she's not really helping Frieza. Okay, okay, cool. Let's see here. Where else are dark? These parts of the shoes. So I'm thinking that for next week for the next stream, I'm gonna do an art stream again because somebody somebody will not be able to be present for the Tuesday art stream, so I'm gonna do a second art stream just so they can hang out, you know? I like to be accessible for everyone. Oh, cool. Ugh, getting the hiccups. Getting the hiccups because I'm drinking water and yapping. Okay, what's going on here? That's what's going on here. I'm screwing up. Oh, okay, cool. I think this needs to go like this. I enjoy doing these chill streams, you know? Not as much pressure, focus on the game, just get to yap. Oh my goodness, that reminds me, I've got art fight attack I need to do, and I haven't even started it. Ah! Okay. Well, yeah, like I said, if you're able to figure out, like, what's the top character, like, power-wise, what's the bottom, and what the average is, it'll definitely help with scaling. Because then you can look and go, okay, I can place my character between this guy and this guy in terms of power. So now I know that this is how powerful they would kind of be. You can even, like, if you're a real nerd like me, you can make charts and whatnot, and you can get real into the nitty-gritty of it. You don't have to, though. I'm just a bit of a dork. There we go. It's funny, when I power scale OCs, I like to make like charts and whatnot and like math it out. This is probably why I enjoy D&D. Yeah. Oh my goodness. I'm like getting in the mood to play D&D and work on it again, but like I got other things I need to do! Ugh! Like it's not like it's even pressing important stuff. I'm at home. I'm not even in college right now. Like I got all the time in the world to do things, and then I don't do it. People say Doomslayer would one-shot Wesker. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, we can also like really nitty-gritty it and go, which version of Wesker? Which version of Doom Guy? And also, it's a fanfic, so who gives a crap? If you can put the Terminator in Mortal Kombat against Johnny Cage as a real game thing, then who gives a crap about if Wesker would get one shot or not by the Doomslayer? Or Doom Guy, sorry. Or, yeah, Doomslayer. What am I even talking about, man? Like, you're writing it because you want to write it and you're having fun with it. That's what matters. Flip that back around. Turn this on. Something's like bugging me right here. There we go. Talked about it, married, doing mess with being more powerful. Well, if you guys already agree that yeah, Wesker's more like powerful, then I don't know. I mean, it's a fanfic. You don't have to stress too much. Like, if people want to complain, that's their problem, not yours. Okay, cool. Yeah, I know Doomguy and Doomslayer are the same thing. It's just timeline-wise, when he's whichever. Wow, my voice just, like, completely gave out. What the hell? See, that's what happens when I go 1 second without taking a sip of water, apparently. Alright, I need to, like, lower the opacity on this so I can see if I've got all the dark spots. I think I did. Yeah, okay. Finally, we finished the dark spots. Now we can move on to a different color. Finally! Oh my goodness, I was like getting bored. It's probably about time I save anyway. And save a backup. Always save a backup, just in case. I missed a dark spot. I missed a dark spot. That's it. I'm gonna explode. I didn't even notice it down here. Just goes to show how important this one spot was that I missed it. There's probably a way that I could change it so y'all are getting the chill music and I could be listening to my usual stuff, but I don't want to figure out audio right now. I just want to get this going. Just get this done. Just doing what we're doing. Just hanging while we out. Yeah, exactly. Timeline stuff. Yeah. Like, if your character is a genius in quantum physics, like they are just certified brilliant, got a Mensa and all that, you can make them not know how to cook dinner. Because they're so busy with their work, they're not thinking about dinner. Like, boom, there you go. I also love giving characters ironic weaknesses. Like, you're so smart at this and you can't do this simple task. And they're just sitting there sobbing, unable to tie their shoes, and they're like, shut up. Oh, and I missed a dark spot here. Oh my god, every time I think I'm done. Every time I think I'm done. Oh, okay, cool. Cool. Need to darken these, because these are dark. Every time I think I'm done, it pulls me right back in. I don't know why, but that reminded me of Moral Oral. That is a very good show. It's free on YouTube right now, like the entirety of it. Definitely go give it a watch. Gets dark. Gets real dark. Yeah. Yes. Yeet Excella. Just send her to the void. She provides nothing. There we go. There's that eye. And then get this little spot here. And then I don't know why this is goofed up. That should actually be down like that. Kinda. There we go. Sort of. I don't know what is going on here. See, the problem with sketching on paper is that when you get into extremely small details like this crap, it is hard to figure out where you're supposed to color and where you need to leave it alone. And I'm not sure where I'm supposed to color and where I'm supposed to leave it alone. I think I got it. Good enough. If I keep nitpicking it, I'm gonna be here all day. Now, I think, I pray, I hope, I can do the other colors. So first up is right around here. Just blob that in. This layer on yeah. I love that. A sense disturbance in the force, as if millions of Excellas cried out all at once and then were silenced. Keep getting tricked here because I'm not sure if it's a dead pixel or just gunk on my screen. It's been gunk on my screen every time. And I know it's gunk on the screen because I keep seeing it in the same spot. But I moved the art and it's like, oh, that could be a dead pixel, that could be a missing pixel. No, it's just gunk. What am I doing? Boom! That part's all colored. The tie is almost done. I think it's about time for a big stretch. Big stretch. Here we go. Sometimes you just gotta do a big stretch. I think everyone would benefit from a big stretch. Wait a minute, I think I colored a spot of the hair I didn't need to color. I think I did. What is going on here? Oh, I see what's going on. I figured it out. I have to get the dark color again. Ugh. First off, I need to like clean this up a little. But then this spot right here is a gap that's not supposed to be colored. Oh my goodness. Oopsies. Nobody's perfect. Everybody makes mistakes. And I will make them blatantly. And I will not notice them for an entire stream. There. That was supposed to be gapped like that. That was not supposed to be light. Ah, peace has been restored in the galaxy. I do need to clean this spot up a little, though. There. Once again, if I keep messing on that spot, I'm gonna be here all day. So I'm gonna leave it for now. That's a problem for later. Oh no. Don't hunch over your desk. That's no good. You'll get back problems. I do need to color these laces dark. Why do I keep doing this to myself? There we go. And that flip was purely because I'm just too lazy to move my wrist. And then flip it back around. Just a moment, and I will get to that message. If that message was for me, I don't know. Star Wars is really good. There's really good Star Wars movies. There's some really bad ones too. Cough, cough. Some of the new ones, but I love Star Wars. Oh, nice. Anyone who's in chat right now, put your favorite Star Wars character. Why am I turning this upside down? Very nice, very nice. Vader is a solid pick. I think my favorite's Han. Because I'm basic. He's a fun character. We love a scoundrel in this house. Ooh, Padme, that's a solid pick. Padme's a solid pick. Jar Jar? I think you are like the only person I've ever seen that like not only do they mention Jar Jar as a character they like, but as like a favorite. Not meaning that in insulting, I'm not like meaning that in an insulting way at all. Like, I'm just genuinely surprised. Honestly, power to you. Yeah, touche, touche. Darth Vader, cool. Darth Vader, real cool. Darth Vader, cool as hell. You know what? Fair enough. Fair enough. I didn't really have an opinion on Jar Jar, to be honest. Like, I had no negative feelings towards him, but like, it was also like, he's there. That's Jar Jar. He's Binks. He's the Jar Jar Binks. Fair enough. Yeah, he didn't need the hate. Like, yes, I can understand how he was a little bit annoying, but I mean, he served his purpose in the movie. He did what he needed to do. I mean, like, that's what the characters are for. So, I don't think he needed to get, like, the severe amount of hate that he ended up getting. And as for Star Trek, my favorite character from Star Trek was Data. Still is, actually. I'm gonna be real. I just think he's neat. I just think he's nifty. Did I forget to color these? Did I forget to color those? Ah, I gotta color those the dark layer again. Keep doing this. I keep doing this. I keep forgetting to color like small details. Oh my goodness. Why do I keep forgetting? Yeah, like, honestly, the prequels did not need the hate that they got. Especially, like, nowadays, because nowadays I think we can agree that the worst Star Wars movies are not the prequels. The worst Star Wars movies today, not the prequels, not at all. Hi, cat. Guest appearance from the boy. Hello. I like lore too. Like, Data and lore, I rotate both of them in my head, spaghetti style. You know what? I'm kind of realizing now, as I'm coloring this, I'm kind of using Data, and by extension, Lore's color palette. Oops! That was subliminal. Sometimes you subliminal Star Trek, other times Star Trek subliminal you. Oh, I see, you're taking the I can fix him route. I mean, he is mechanical. You could, technically, fix him. I gotta watch Star Trek again. Like, there it is, like another show, another Tumblrina show that I need to finish. Like, well, no, I did finish it, but I need to watch it again. Just because it's enjoyable. Meow. Why do you meow? Why do you whimper so? Moo. Yeah. Oh, yay! You know what? I think Lord just needed a cat. I think the cat would humble him. Like, Data had a cat and it made him a better person. He was already, like, perfect though, so... Come on, there we go, 1 pixel. Okay. Dishes. Huh. I didn't... You know what? I'm gonna be perfectly honest. I genuinely didn't remember Stephen Hawking having a cameo. I thought we were done coloring the dark layer. He is cat-coded. He is very cat-coded. They both are to a certain extent, let's be real. Yeah. Okay, okay. That's an open line and we can't have that because that means paint will spill everywhere. Okay. Don't quote me on this, but I think that's the last of the dark layer. I hope it's the last of it. Just gonna paint these buttons in. Boop, boop, beep, doop. There we go. And now we get to just use the paint bucket tool for a huge spot of this. Yeah. Big stretch again. Big stretch again. Ugh. We've been working on this quite a while. So since the jacket is going to be a lot of one big splorch of color, I'm not going to get as detailed with just blobbing this in because I don't have to. I love when I don't have to do more than I have to do. Just blobbing her in. Just blobbing her in. Blobbing her in. I don't know why I'm repeating myself, but I'm doing it. Just blobbing her in. Blobbing her in. You say something enough times and it stops sounding like words. There we go. Now, if I'm not crazy, I should be able to just paint bucket this and there shouldn't be a bunch of weird little holes. But we're gonna check anyway because sometimes the paint bucket's weird. But so far, so good. Yay! Okay. So I do have to be a little more discerning on this side because there is a hand. But aside from that, I think I can just blob her in. Wait, did I screw up somewhere? I did. Or did I? I did. This dark spot's not supposed to be here. This needs to be lighter because that's part of the shoulder. Yeah. That'll do. That'll do, donkey. That'll do. Today's the day of the random movie quotes, I think. Just making sure I'm not going over line. I did go over line. Oops. I'm gonna shrink that down. Just to do that spot. And then I can blob that back up. And now, as the cool kids say, blobbing her in. Blobbing her in. Blobbing her in. Maybe we will finish coloring the flats today. Who knows? I certainly don't. Like, honestly, I know there's a better way to do this, but I'm very clearly not doing it. There's always better ways to do things. You just gotta stick it out to learn them. I should just be able to boop and just check for weird little... Yep, there's one. And I know what layer that's on because that's not on this layer. Oh, never mind, it is on this layer. Okay, well, I'm silly. But I think that... there's one. Just gonna check. Alright, that's okay then. Alright! Slowly but surely, we get there. Up next is the... Oh, I hear boop boop. I hear boop boop. What boop boop? Oh, that boop. Okay. Well, that boop. Irrelevant. But up next is the lighter one. This layer. So, I'm gonna grab my horse and take him to the road. The old town road. I don't know how I missed coloring that one little section. Oh, I know why. That's skin. Why did I not color this? It's skin. It's kind of hard to tell what is and isn't part of the hair, just because of how zoomed in I am. Oh, the glasses. Oops, I forgot those. Because those are this darker. This darker color. Not the dark one, but darker. Oop, wrong one. Yeah, that needs to be this color. Because coloring the glasses frames is fun, rather than just leaving them black. Oh, okay, I see what happened here. Okay, I see what happened here. There we go. That should be fine. Yeah, I forgot that the that light layer for the hair is actually underneath the layer that will color the glasses. So I was coloring over it. Didn't mean to do that, but caught it. So it's not something I'm gonna look back later and go, ah. Whew. My mouth is getting so dry. Okay, that's fine. How we all doing right now? We just we doing all right? Just want to make sure y'all aren't getting too bored or anything. Just making sure. Because I don't want the streams to be boring at any point. Because then it's like, what's the point in streaming if people are getting bored and then they don't want to watch? I'm just trying to make sure I'm still entertaining, even when I'm not yapping a whole ton. Sometimes I run out of things to say. Yep, that's fine. Dark it just a little right there, I think. Maybe? Maybe not? Like I said, it's the small detail areas that I get hung up on that I don't really need to. I forgot to continue the rest of the lens, apparently. Or not the lens, the frame. Because it's supposed to continue this, like, right over here. There. I think that's about good, I think. Yeah, I just straight up forgot to draw right there. I can't help that. That's an oops. Raise that just a touch. Oh, thank you. Thank you guys. I'm glad you're enjoying the stream and everything, and I'm glad you're enjoying hanging out. Yeah, that's good. I can do this one. I don't know why I'm tilting my head. I could rotate the canvas, like that is a tool I possess, but here we are. What's going on here? Oh, I see what's happened. Yeah. Because I drew that in pencil first, sometimes it blobbed a little, and there's really nothing I can do to fix that. I mean, unless I want to get real nitty-gritty with this, but that's not what this is about. We are chilling. Being chilling. Come on. Alright, that's, I think that's that with that one. I think. Oh, I did rotate the canvas. How did that happen? Oh well. So, I need to do this light color, and I think the only spot is the hair and the hair, the shirt, and the shoes. I think that's it. Yeah, okay. Or is it on the tie too? Yes, it is. This brown is almost the same tone as the gray I'm using for the background. Now, if I was Butch Hartman, that would not be a problem. But because I'm me, it's a little hard to see the change. But That's fine because this is just a background gray. It's not a gray that we're actually going to use in the piece at all. Oop, uh-oh. That's going to fill everything. Yep. Knew it the second I looked at the top of the tie. Oopsies. Fix that. And just fix that. There we go. Now I can just blob that in. And fix any weird little holes. Legally, I have to clown on Butch just a touch for the stream. Like, just the like, legal required amount. And color these in. And boop, there we go. I think that's that for this color. I think. Let's find out. Yes, it is. Alright, now it's just the... Wait. No! I just realized I need the dark for the eyes. Every time I think I'm free, it pulls me back in. Right when I think I'm done with this little section. Oh. Oh, mamma mia. Oh, mamma mia. And like this blend's weird too, so I gotta like be careful. It's a little hard to tell what's part of the eye and what isn't, just because of this smudging, I guess. It's very annoying. I don't really need to color that part because it's part of the nose, but I'm doing it anyway. I'm getting messages again. Ah! Ah! I can't respond. I'm like streaming. Oh my god. Every time I think I'm done with this dark brown, man. It's like trolling me on purpose here. Why do I do this to myself, man? Oh, this goes right down. Never mind. Oops. This goes right down like that, because the rest of the lash is over there. There we go. Now I turn this back off so I can line this up with the glasses. There we go. Every time I think I'm done with this dark brown, it's haunting me. That goes right down, and then it goes right back up. Come on. Goes right here, and then I think that's that for that eye. Who knows? Just take a little off the bottom there. Now I gotta do the other eye. And then I hope I'm done with the darks. I hope. But at this rate, I don't know. What is going on with the eye? Oh, okay, I see what's going on with it. It's weird. It's very hard to tell what's going on right here because it's got smudged. just taking an educated guess. Just based off of what's around it. Hearing things happening in Discord. I really need to just close the app while I stream. Okay, that's part of the eye. But not part I need to color. This goes up. And then... No, it doesn't go up. It goes here. Over to this, and then that goes down. I think. Like I said, just taking pot shots here because I don't know what's part of the eye and what's not. Okay. And then there's this down piece. Wait. Oh, okay. Starts here, not there. Then this goes down and around, and I hope for the best. And I don't think there's anything past it. At least I hope. Sorry for just mumbling to myself here. I'm just trying to figure out what's going on with the eye, because there was some weirdness happening. Oh, oops. You grab that color, and then go back here. I saw a weird little pixel gap. Please, 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 please be the last of the darks, because I don't want to use that color anymore. I want to do other stuff. Alright. What's next? What's next? Next up is the skin tones. So I'm gonna blob in the regular tone first, and then I'm gonna do the darker bits afterward, just to make it a little easier on myself. Oh my god, what is Discord talking about? I don't even know which server's going off. I'm just gonna close the whole thing. But we are gonna finish the flats today, I swear it. It's almost 5 anyway, so don't have much longer to do so. At least in this stream. I'm getting tricked by gunk on my screen again. Alright, blob that in. There's some skin. Get that bit of dirt off my screen so it's not driving me insane anymore. Yeah, we're gonna do it. Finally, we're going to finish the flat colors of this little guy. I'm looking forward to it, because then we can get to the actual, well, I mean, all of it's fun, but we can get to the part I find really fun, which is shading. Alright, and then I gotta not turn that layer off, I gotta turn this one off, so I can get in here. So like I said, I'm just gonna put the skin tone first, and then I'll worry about the detail work with like the mouth and whatnot. And that should be one big circle, and then bingo boingo. Boingo, boingo. And I need to move this layer, because now it serves no purpose where it was sitting. Alright, first up, what's first up? First up will be the whites of the eyes and teeth, which I appear to have not sampled the color for. That's annoying. Create new from clipboard, turn this on, make sure it's not clipped to anything. I need to grab the white. back to you. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you like it. So, what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna color the whites with red first, just so I can see where it is, because it's not a huge difference when you're just trying to do it. So I'm gonna color it with red, and then I'll change it to white. This is a tactic I use when I can barely tell the colors apart. Might help if I'm on the right one here for that. Okay, and then I just gotta do the teeth. Come on, there we go. Come on, here we go. Oh man, I'm looking forward to being done with the flats. I know I'm gonna repeat that a couple times here, but it is so relieving to have that finished, because normally it does not take me this long. But that's okay, because I was live streaming, and this isn't like commission or anything, so there's no urgency to it. Just chillin'. Okay, that looks alright. One more tooth to go here. And it's unfortunately the one where the lead got smudged. So it's a little hard to tell where it ends. I think it goes up like that. And then just like across like that. That should be fine. Paint, paint, paint. Fill in the weird little gaps. And then go back here, sample this color. Oh, wrong thing. And then I can just edit, change to drawing color, and that's the teeth in the eyes. Alright, up next will be, I think I'll do the eyes and tongue. So, got the tongue color, got the eye color. I'm going to do tongue first, then eye. And even though these are both just small little areas, I'm going to keep them on separate layers. And I keep everything on separate layers, just in case I want to change something later, because I don't really like how it came out. Wait a minute. The inside of the whole mouth is red, so I might as well just do like this, rather than just the tongue, because the whole inside of the mouth is red, because that's how mouths work. And I should put it under the teeth actually instead of above them. And I'm noticing that there's... I'll fix that in a second here, but there's a little miscoloring on the teeth that I gotta fix. That's okay. Won't get everything perfect on the first shot, and that's just how life is. But see, that's what I want. What I need is to fix that gap a little. Yeah, I'm on the right layer. Just clean this up just a little. Don't need to make it perfect. Perfection is not what we're aiming for. We're just aiming to have it. I say as I proceed to be a perfectionist. A little bit of weirdness going on here. Is that another tooth? No, it's not. Okay. So there's that. And then we're gonna get the eye color in. So that will be in here. And that also needs to be above the white. I don't know why it wasn't. Get that there. Get this here. It's a little hard to see what's going on again. I believe this is the curve. And then this is the curve, I think. A little hard to tell. There we go. We'll just go with that. So there's a feature with Clip, and I unfortunately didn't turn it on while working on this, but there's a feature you can turn on when you're working on art in Clip, and it records as you paint, so you could upload speed paints. And unfortunately, I completely forgot to turn it on while working on this, so there won't be. Well, I mean, I can do a speed paint re-upload because I do have all the footage from the stream, but like, it's just not going to be the way I normally do it. There we go. Color that eye. We're getting there. We are getting there. We are almost done. At least for this stream. So the last thing I gotta do is the marks on the face. And I believe it's this pinky color. Yep, it is. Oh my goodness. This has been an adventure. So I just gotta make one more layer. Color those in. In fact, what I actually need to do is I need to turn this down just a touch so I can see where I'm coloring with these freckles. Because it's a little hard to tell. And honestly, I probably could have done this for a lot of other things during this, but I didn't think of it. So, we're doing it now. We're doing it this way. Ugh, getting the hiccups again. I will never be free from them. But soon I say, soon we will be done with the flats. And I've got a neat thing I'm gonna do the second I finish these flats. I'm not fully certain if it'll work, but I'm definitely gonna try. Hi! We're still working on the flat colors, but we are almost done. Oh, wait, I saw that stray pixel. Not much. Like I said, just mostly working on the flats still. Almost done them, and I'm looking forward to being done them. Sometimes my mouth just glitches out, and that's something I gotta live with. But, like I was saying, when I'm done with these flats, I've got an interesting thing I want to try. It works really well when I've got actual line art, but since this is coloring above the actual art, I'm not sure if it'll work, so I'm definitely gonna find out. But there's something I'd like to try with this. And I'm definitely gonna color this. Oh! Okay, I gotta move this. I gotta move this below some layers. I just wanted to color his lip in. And I'm gonna color his other lip in too, because I'm just sassy like that. What does that even mean? What am I talking about? I've been working on this too long. I'm getting weird. Like, there's a point when I'm working on art where I just start to get silly because I've been staring at the same thing way too long. And I think I've definitely reached that point. But that's okay. Because we are here to have a good, fun, friendly, fun time. Yeah. Yeah, the Evan. But yeah, I get what you're saying with lore. Color his lip. He's not wearing lipstick, but we're making him sass anyway. Wrong layer. I could probably continue this all the way over to like there, but I'm not going to. For I am lazy. Just need to check this. Okay. Oh, it is 5, but I'm gonna finish putting the flats in before I turn off the stream, so we're not going anywhere just yet. His snoot. So, with Evan Korenthal, he's the part of this drawing where the dark nose is coming from. And when I draw him normally, I make his nose like a lot more, to be perfectly honest, a lot more dead looking. So with this, there's actually like some skin tone to it, which is interesting to me. Yeah. Yeah. Like, it always sucks when, like, you got 2 compelling characters, and then they kind of, like, stop using one just to boost the other, and it's like, well, we got 2 compelling characters. Why do we just have to, like, just focus on one? We got 2! And the 2 are cool, and... oh, well. That's what fanfic's for. So normally these would be star-shaped, like actual, like 5-pointed stars, but I just drew them smaller because, well, I was running out of space on the paper, so they had to be. But normally these would be like a mix of 5 and 4-pointed stars, as opposed to like a bunch of 4. And some of them got a little muddied together, but can't really well, I mean, I can fix it, but it's, once again, more work than I'm willing to put in. What is going on here? What is going on here? Because that almost... I know what that is. I gotta go back to using the dark color again! I will never be free of this curse. Because this is just another point on the eyelash. I will never be free of this curse. Every time I think I'm done with it. Well, no guarantees, but hopefully, finally, please, that should be the last of it. But what do I know? Every time I've said that, I've been wrong. Ooh, cool. That's pretty cool. What is going on here? Oh my goodness. Every time I think I'm done with this color, I have to use it again and again and again and again. Because this part goes down like that. That part goes like that. There. I'm not even gonna say it. I'm not even gonna say it because I know what's gonna happen if I do. I'm surprised that I actually haven't ended up coloring on the wrong layer yet during all of this, because I normally have that happen pretty often, so this is good at least. Like, at least I've been on the correct layers with everything. Just gonna fill that in a little more. That should be fine. Oh, nice! I love that trope. That's a fun one. Oh my goodness. Someday I will finish this. Someday. Someday. Soon, hopefully. I think the chill beats are what they're driving me mildly insane. Like, not in a bad way, but like in a... I don't even know, man. I'm losing what I'm saying as I'm trying to say it. The universe is gonna collapse. Squid Game. Buzzword. I think you can kind of tell when I get tired in these streams. What is this mark? Oh! Oh, lovely! Lovely! Once more! With passion! With fury! There. Free me from this hellhole. That's cute. That's genuinely really cute. Soon this will be completed. At least one step of it will be completed. Soon. I should save. It's been a while. And knowing my luck, if I don't save, things are gonna get kerfoinked. I don't even know what kerfoinked means, man. I don't think that's a word. Why are there seagulls in the background of this song? The ambience in this song does not make a lot of sense. Like, look, they're there again. Why are there seagulls? like, I didn't realize we were listening to Seagull Pop Top 10 Hits from the Boardwalk. Like, look, they're there again. I don't understand. Maybe the song's just going as insane as I am. See, now we're verging on bossa nova. What do you bet we get some seagull noises? Oh yeah, beach vibes. That makes sense. Let's get some bossa seagull. Okay. I think it's over. I think the torment has ended. Truly, I think I have finished putting in the flat colors. Okay. Thank you, thank you. So, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab all of the flats, except for this, I don't know. But I'm gonna grab all of the flats, and if I'm not insane, put them in this folder, they blob out, and there we go! So, I have a theory. Not guaranteeing this will work, but it's always worth a shot. I'm gonna copy this. Well, actually I'm gonna save. Just before I start getting silly with it. Alright, so, copying this folder, pasting this folder, merging all of these together as one flat layer, taking it out, doing this, and if I'm right, okay, we get some funky colors when we throw a multiply over top. I'm not sure what I was going for, to be perfectly honest. And if we do add glow, we get some real funky, fresh, funky fun. Girl, I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. I'm just gonna bump this to the side. I think I matched the colors. Almost. I think if I... Yeah, look, don't those almost look the same? Almost? There. There. Colors are matched. So, if I add a glow layer with 13 on it, that's what it looks like. That's what the true colors are. And if I leave it off, it just looks like this. So, I think I'm gonna leave it off, honestly. Like, yeah, they're a little more vibrant, but I kind of like the darker ones, you know? So I think I'm gonna leave it darker, like that. This is the layer that I didn't have all the way up. Oh. Oh no. I think we need to do some finagling. Because I didn't realize that this was at 62 and not 100. I think we need to do some fixing. So this is what the normal looks like, this is the add glow. We need to match this a little better. Too bright. Too dark. I think right about there. Now we got true colors. So that's it darker, and this is with the true colors. So if we actually like take the true colors, cut them in half. Yeah, I think that's about where I'd like it. So there we go. That's an extremely long, extremely stretched out flat coloring of this. So next stream, I'm gonna do a big stretch. So next stream, I'm gonna do a second art stream, and this is because there's somebody in the server who's not able to watch on Tuesdays, and I would like to share at least 1 art stream, you know? So this is where we're gonna leave it for today. I am very tired from that stream. I don't know why that exhausted me so much here, because like this isn't anything particularly strenuous, but this is how it's looking so far. That's my boy. Oh my goodness. I just realized I don't think I was recording any of this stream. I was not. I'm gonna have to download this. Ah! Why do I do this to myself? But I'm glad y'all were here. I'm glad y'all were able to hang out, enjoy the stream, do what y'all do, yap what y'all yap. I'll catch you next time. If I can remember what button it is. It is this button. So long.